it was really hard for me to leave TNA because I wanted to go back and finish my career in WWE. Dixie knew this, and I knew this. I wanted to go back and finish my career in WWE because that's where I started. And so in 2017, I left, and WWE ended up signing me. But as you will learn in the business, when you leave a company high and dry, like I did, where the company needed me as a wrestler at that point in time because me and John Cena were the top two guys in the company in WWE.
Yeah.
And when you leave them like that, they don't forget.
No.
So when I came back, I paid the price, man. I was losing left and right and doing jobs and and at one point, actually, they wouldn't even have me wrestle. They wouldn't let me wrestle. I think they thought of me as a liability because they made me they inducted me into Hall of Fame first, which I expected to do that last. And then they made me general manager of SmackDown for 9 months.
Yeah.
And then they started having me wrestle. So they did everything the opposite way. They should have had me wrestle, general manager, Hall of Fame. They did the opposite. I'm not sure why, but whenever I wrestled, I lost 95% of the matches. They didn't have any plans to put a title on me, nothing. And I was wrestling extremely well when I went there. But when I got there and I became GM for 9 months, I was inactive for the whole 9 months, never got in the ring. And when I got in the ring eventually, I wasn't the same person. I felt like I looked like an old man wrestling in the ring. That's how bad it was. And that's why I retired early. Because I didn't want the fans to remember me as this old, broken down old man. I wanted them to remember me as the Kurt Angle in his prime. And I didn't want to continue to have matches like that. So that's why I left.
I'm sorry, Dutch. With that being said, your last match was with Baron Corbin. Were there any grand plans to have a big retirement blow off, or did you just sort of just think there and then, no, I'm done?
Well, all right, I went to Vince and I said, listen, I'm not going to wrestle after WrestleMania. Could I have a match with John Cena? He said, nope. You have a program with Baron Corbin. You need to finish it. I said, okay. And he said, I could give you John Cena the following year. I said, Vince, I'm not going to wrestle another year. He said, okay, then you have Baron Corbin, and that's it. So I did want to go out with John because I was his first match to begin his career, and I wanted him to be the match to end my career. But unfortunately, that wasn't in the plans. And I understand why they gave me Baron. I mean, Baron's a great athlete, great talent. He was being pushed at the time. What I'm a little bit disappointed in is that after he beat me, he won King of the Ring. So they obviously had plans for him. But after that, they didn't do shit with him. It was like, why did I do a job for him when you're not even utilizing him? And Baron deserved it. So, and then they came up with this character, Happy Corbin, and they started giving him these hokey characters. And it was like, man, you have a talented individual that you can make a world champion, and you're dicking around with him. That just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that was your favorite character, wasn't it? Happy Corbin, Dutch.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Kurt, just before I hand it back to Dutch, John Cena's doing a retirement tour for a year. Hey,
yeah,
one
and
more,
I won't be in it.
Worth asking.
You know what? I get it all the time. People ask me all the time, "You're gonna be on John Cena's retirement tour?" No, listen. I just did a commercial for CBS where I wrestled in the ring against. He's a broadcaster, a sportscaster, Kyle Brandt. I don't know if you know who he is.
I know the name. I don't know who he is.
He's on CBS. He's a sportscaster. He does a lot of promotional videos where he's an incredible athlete. He does he did something where he did MMA against one of the top MMA guys. He decided to do a wrestling match against me because he was representing the Ravens and I was representing the Steelers. And so there was a big matchup that week. So we ended up having a wrestling match to see how to show how the Steelers and Ravens would go down. And we ended up having a tie in the match. But when I did that match, I was so sore the next day and my back went out of place. And it took me a good month for my back to go back into place. And I thought, man, I can't do that stuff anymore. I probably did about 10 bumps in the match, but man, that really it really affected me for a very long time. I'm still recuperating right now, and it's been about 2 months.